Hey guys, this is Introducing Emmy, and we're back with another Redline Tuesday. This one was sent to me by Rue, I believe is how you pronounce their name, Roux. And I asked them to give me an unshaded version if they have it, so that's technically the one we're going to be working on. And also because this one has a little bit of a background, I'm going to try to do some stuff with the background. We'll see. We'll see how much I do with the background. But anyway, and so the first thing I noticed real quick is you want kind of an equal amount of space around the characters. So if this was my drawing, I would just maybe pad out the bottom a little bit so that it's about the same amount of space from top to bottom, and then left to right from the characters. And I was gonna say, I guess maybe from the edge of the couch, but the couch isn't really a character, so it's a background element, but it features prominently. So I would do that. I'm gonna just erase these little marks, and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try to go quickly because there's a lot of characters in this one, and I don't want you guys sitting here for 3 hours. Another thing I would do is maybe make the couch a little larger. So I noticed there's it kind of curves in here, which makes either the couch has a skirt and her leg is bumping against it, or their leg, or whoever. Yeah, I'm gonna misgender your characters, I'm sorry. Just get over it. And so anyway, either the couch is a skirt, or they're when you inked this, you would draw this line, stop, draw this line, stop, draw this line. And if you ink this by hand, then yeah, obviously you'd have to do it. In Photoshop, you can just kind of make a line and then erase as you need to. But yeah. So anyway, sorry, I'm putzing around on this couch too much. So I have to put my, I don't know if you heard that. I just threw my pen down so I can make a line with my mouse. Okay, and then cushions. I'm just going to copy this line because I'm too lazy to redraw it, but it should be like that. Now, the couch, even my version of the couch looks a little wonkety, so I'm going to fix it here in a second. But if you're just sketching, the couch do be looking kind of wonkety. While you're working, expect wonkety couches. I'm trying to figure out, would that be, right there? I'm trying to think of, the depth, how far back. Usually for, excuse me, I just bumped my microphone. Usually for things like this, I would make a model in SketchUp. Because then if I had to make slight changes or whatever to the setting, it would be as easy as going into SketchUp or some modeling software and just kind of turning the image slightly. I'm actually going to adjust this couch a little bit. I'm going to put the couch on its own layer. Couch is going on its own layer. And so Just kind of clean up the edges a little bit. Part of the reason I wanted to do this was because I found that these characters were sort of clipping into the couch a little bit. Like there wasn't enough room for them. It sort of felt like I'm actually going to make it a little bigger. And I'm using the two people on the end to sort of figure this out. Okay. And for whatever reason, I kind of chose this line as my line for perspective. So everything should be kind of following that. By the way, I'm holding down Shift to get straight lines. Lampshade looks good, just a little off center. And then the picture frame. Sorry, the background's so rough. I figure you're more interested in the characters, but I'll do this. I'll give it a little look at, a little look-see. And then for the television set, so I don't know if you guys can see this, but the TV set isn't really aligned with the couch, like perspective-wise. There's like a, what'd you call it? Like the corner is kind of not following these lines. So if you, let me find some space here. So if you, this is your room down here. Okay. And the stairs are back here. And lamp is here. And then you've got the couch with the people on it. With the people. I'm assuming the TV is supposed to be square. Like the TV stand and the television are supposed to be square with the people. If the way it is now, it's almost like it's kind of sitting like this way a little bit. If it's supposed to be like that, ignore the advice I'm about to give you. But if it's not, if it's supposed to be square with the people, it should be more like this. And these lines, so this line should follow this line should follow this line as far as the angles are concerned. Then you've got your television. I don't know what, like, if this is like an old tube TV or what, like a wood TV from the wood age of the 80s. Then you've got the light coming off of it. Or whatever. So there we go. Okay. You could probably get away with like putting the whole television set in shadow. Like just black out all this. But I will leave that to you. Okay. I'm going to change the color of the television layer to like green. It'll be green for now. And we'll do the people. I still don't like the angle of the couch. Can't leave well enough alone. I think this part is what's bothering me. Like it should be up a little more like that. Okay. I'm also going to lighten this up a little bit. And we're going to have to like put on our hardcore thinking hats to both look at the characters and then look at the new couch. That's more of like a thing for me than for you guys. So I would be careful of showing too much of this part of the back. I'm not exactly sure if they, like, which way their hips are going. But I think their body is a little, like, disproportionate. We're going to figure it out. Well, since I raised the back of the couch, I guess I can raise him. So let me, sorry. Pen was kind of lagging. Just be careful about eye placement. I always had a bad habit of like creeping the eye up too far towards the bridge of the nose. Okay, and then I'm gonna just lightly go over this part of the arm. So I'm not gonna go too wild on this back part of the arm, but just know that you need to hitch it up higher than this shoulder and to try to draw through your figures to find it. So his arm, I'm trying to think like in my head, like his arm is kind of like rolled up. So his bicep would be like here, and yeah. So the bicep would be there, and then the back of the arm would be back there. And then, I feel like I'm doing like a really bad job today, guys. And then, yeah, his other... So, like, a lot of times when I'm sketching, I try not to warn... Like, if you can't see it, and you have a general... Especially if it's, like, a limb that's just, like, hanging there, I just try to be like, oh, yeah, it's back there somewhere, you know? So, even I'm not, like, gonna be, like, super hardcore about where that arm is. But, I am going to move him up now to align with the couch that I drew. I should turn on multiply. There we go. And I'm going to lighten this up just a tad. I hope you guys can still see the under drawing. Okay. And I feel like that frees up a lot of space for his thigh. Yeah, and it does feel like this character should, like, his torso should be, like, He's kind of, if you're looking at him from the front, he's sort of slouching in towards the back of the couch. So this is like his rib cage, his clavicle, his arms there. And he's sort of like this. His legs coming, that leg's bent up. And then this leg is like underneath. This is probably a little more extreme than than how he's actually positioned, but yeah, I think he's like leaning this way inwards towards the couch. So that's kind of how I'm going to do it. And now we have all this like real estate back here that we can sort of move his hip up into. And then, okay. Yeah, he's got his other leg kind of like the foot is sort of coming out behind here. So I'm going to assume his leg, yeah, I'm not sure. His leg would have to be like up. So there's where the foot is now. This is a terrible foot. If you can't tell, this is my first drawing for the day. So his leg would be somewhere up here. I'm trying to think how I would do this. Let me back up a little bit. So let's put his arm. let's give Emmy a minute to think, and let's put the arm up here. He's kind of got it like resting. I think the only way to get around this is to maybe make him a little, like make the characters a little smaller. Because I feel like feet and hands are usually not much bigger than the face. And I feel like just to get everything like up onto the couch, like I'm trying to think like where to put his leg, basically, because she's so close. So I would maybe kind of fluff it and have this leg, this be his back leg here. And maybe do something with that. The other thing I would recommend doing is, if you have access to Design Doll, to basically pose, like make analogs of these characters and pose them in some kind of environment that you can see how they would all fit onto this couch. Because even I, master illustrator now, even I'm having a little bit of trouble trying to figure out how I would do this. without references. But I'm thinking this is kind of getting closer the more I kind of fuss with it. The other two characters I feel much better about. It's this guy on the end who is the one who's like giving me a lot of problems. He's a troublemaker. He's a feisty one. But I feel like however you do this, you're going to have to like cut into her a little bit. And then he's got his t-shirt on. And because I've like moved him up more, you might want to rotate, excuse me, you might want to rotate the head down just a bit. Though I'm going to try to, oops, where's my eraser? I'm going to try to leave like a little bit of space right here. Oh man, this is really bothering me. Like, I don't know. I can't like figure out what I want to do with this. I remember I did another Redline where I kind of was like, I was working on a drawing that had like sort of multiple angles all present at one time, and I was like, well, if you decide to go with this angle on this part of the body, then you need the other side to look like this, and then vice versa. If you want the other side of the body to go with this angle, then you gotta go the other side, you know. And I'm having like that feeling right now, that feeling of like, okay, you're gonna have to choose. Do you want the legs to look like this, or do you want the body up here to look like this? And you're gonna have to sort of meet somewhere in the middle. I'm gonna turn off the couch for like 5 seconds. Man, one of my favorite things to draw is boobs. And like girl bodies. I should have like saved her for last. The best for last. Look at this sneaky snake over here with their hand on them. How very dare you? so badly want to do like a mark below the lip. That's like my thing, you know. I'm like, yeah, I won't do it, but it's like my call of the void. Quick, define that bottom lip. Ignore me. I'm probably like way overdrawing this character. Like, I'm like, oh, let's just make the hair really big, you know. Shapy hair. Okay. Leave the face alone. It's fine. This eye might be like a touch high, but you know, I'll let you sort it out. I just realized I didn't realize they were all holding cans. I thought, for some reason, I thought she had a smartphone in her hand. I'm used to seeing people carrying them now, I guess. I remember for a really long time, it was hard for me to draw my characters with like computers, like in their houses and stuff like that because, or like smartphones, because I didn't grow up with smartphones. That was like came around when I was like college, like it was like probably like towards the end of college. Everybody had flip phones, but now it's weird. Like I see it in the art. Okay. So right here, I could try to make this a lot lighter. There's no real definition here for the knee. I would figure out some way, maybe via shading, or like one little line to imply that this one's going down and this one's coming up. This helps right here because this is carrying on the shape of that. So the top of the thigh meeting up with the body is sort of like helping to create the illusion that one leg's rising up and the other's going down. Okay. I would also watch the hands. They're like a touch on the small side for this style. I would just lengthen the fingers a little bit. But if you want to keep them like squared off like this, I mean, you know, I can only offer slight anatomy adjustments. You know, your mileage may vary as your style grows and changes and whatever you feel looks right to you. Just try to define the wrist a little bit more. And then we can I also noticed the shoulders. There's like not a lot of definition there, but the elbow is fairly defined, especially on this side. Let me pull up the yeah. So there's like a nice edge there. I would say if you're going to define the shape in one area of the body, to try to replicate that in other spots too, because the way you draw the joints of your characters, I think around the piece should be cohesive. So I would try to maybe like give just a slight more bit of definition to the shoulders. And I mean, it's also good for you for when you go to like ink or draw over. You can find those landmarks to be like, yeah, that's where the scapula is, and the shoulder blade and the elbow and the knees. You can easily find that stuff when you're going to ink or to make changes. And okay. So I'm gonna fade out a few parts here since they're gonna be overlapping. I feel like as I move down the couch, the characters are getting stronger. Let's do, this needs to, I think, be squared up a little bit. I think it's on a slight angle. So I recommend this all the time, but if you can get a set up a hotkey in Photoshop so that you could easily flip your piece back and forth. I think it helps you find like a lot of issues. I remember when I was first like learning to draw, oh, I'm seeing it now. Okay, I think, wait, sorry, I'll come back to that thought. Oops. Sorry. Is it supposed to be kind of like that? Like turned a little bit? So then her eyes seem to like line up better for me if it's like this. No matter. I'm getting a little picky out of nowhere. Unlike normally where I'm not picky at all. I'm not redrawing everything 100 times. Anyway, but when I was first starting to draw, I remember like the idea of flipping your canvas in Photoshop was presented to me like in a tutorial or something. This was like a million years ago, like 15 years ago or something. And I remember the person was like, oh, make sure you flip your canvas back and forth and it'll help you find like lots of little issues because your art should look the same. You should be able to flip it and show it both ways. And I remember thinking, no, you shouldn't. Like, because I'm a fool. I'm an idiot. Wrong, Doreen. I don't think it should be, looked at the other way because then you'll see how weird it looks. Look at this bro. He's slinking up. But oh man, don't you hate when you've been working on a drawing for like 100 years and then you flip it and like you forget to flip it at the beginning, like early while you're working on it. And then like you finally get around to flipping it and you're like, oh dear God, like everything's skewed. So this boyo's feet, I feel are like way too far forward compared to everybody else's. This is like, I think, one of those crossroads moments where we're gonna have to move him around a little bit. So his hand, I think, should be drawn better than what I'm drawing. Something to that effect. Put his horrible little mitt on her. Okay. And then he's got the can right there. I think maybe that would be an okay spot for his elbow meets. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll like do the torso and the neck and everything, and then like I won't draw the head for a while. Since your head is already here though, I will go ahead and just lightly. I would also watch, I noticed there's like a disconnect between the ear and the jawline. It almost looks like the ear is growing out of like the back of the neck a little bit. I might just add a little bit of definition there of some kind, a line or something, just to show that it's connected more to the front of the skull than the back of the skull. Also, you can't see me, but I'm gesturing constantly over here. I really like these characters' noses. I need to get better at noses. I kind of draw the same sort of like doinky, like anime-inspired noses all the time. So I think his head needs to come up out of the neck a little bit, like maybe up here. And then quickly define the arms. As always, I kind of didn't say it in this one, but I've brought it up in other Redline Tuesdays. You always want to be playing straights against curves. So you always want to be, if you draw a straight line, and I'm talking about like for organic shapes, so like human bodies, animal bodies, things like that, plants to some degree, you always want to go like straight line and then curve. Straight line and then curve. Obviously, there's going to be places on the body where you're not going to get nearly as big of a difference, but you're going to see it more often than not, and it will help you, I think, start to find like a rhythm, like a visual rhythm within your drawings. I might go over these hands a little bit, these mitts a little bit more. I'm kind of just making them mittens right now to get everything sort of where I want it. And I am going to move him. Okay, I'm going to leave his hand there. I'm going to leave his smelly, snaky hand on her thigh, and I'm going to move him up. And I'm also going to like just turn him slightly. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get him back into the couch a little bit. So he's sort of sliding off in the original. He's like right on that edge. So I'm trying to get him back just so I can fit his legs into the picture a little better. Man, we're really getting onto a lot of layers here, aren't we? Well, not a lot. It's like those two and the couch. Let's put a color over them for a minute. Just like a blue or something, just so I can see. Okay, I'm sort of thinking if his hand is there. This is what I mean. It's like you can't have everything. If his hand is there, then he would kind of be reaching like forward. It's a little awkward, but I think you could make it work. Let's drop this arm a little bit. And let's get rid of... Yeah, it's a little crowded. It's a little crowded on the big comfy couch right now, but that's okay. We're gonna... I feel really bad. I feel like I'm not doing as good of a job on this as I should have. I should have like put some models together or something before I start. I was looking at it. I was like, yeah, how hard could it be? It's just 3 people on a couch. But like, I feel really bad about this. Okay, let's hike the knee up. Let's get these knees up. Looks really great, guys. This is gonna look really raggedy, flaggedy for a minute here while I rough this out. Oh man, come on. There we go. One thing I kind of don't want to do with this guy is the way his feet are pointed right now. They're both kind of, they're not like exactly in the same direction, but they're kind of in the same direction, and also the toes are sort of pointed in, which I realize you're just sort of, you were just drawing, you're just chilling, cruising through your drawing. That can sort of imply a character is like shy or like off-putting. So I think if this do be my drawing, I would put his feet like one facing out and like maybe the other going this way, just to show that he's like not shy. I mean, he obviously he do not be shy, like. It's like really rough while I'm trying to figure this out. Whoo, he got big feet. Okay, hold on. Yeah, look how big and meaty those clompers are. So I'm gonna lower. Okay, never mind. I didn't realize that was on a different layer. We're gonna lower that down just a little bit. Just a touch. Try to get a little contrapposto going here with the hips to the shoulders. How hard could it be, she says, as she crams 5,000 people onto a couch. Alright, I'm gonna soften all this and kind of tie it down a little bit. Please come with me on my journey. I also think, like, bro's a little bulky. if you just heard that sigh, that deep, deep sigh. Let's put this leg like right there. Let's flip it. Let's run Screaming from the Building. Okay. Now that it's flipped, I might be able to... Oh, who am I kidding? I don't know what I'm doing. Now that it's flipped, though, this might be a little easier on my wrist to draw in the structure. I was just watching, he's an inker here on YouTube. He has a book. What is his name? Alphonse? I will do a Google. Alfonso Dunn? Is that his name? Yes, Alfonso Dunn. And he just did a whole thing about like finding like the way that the directions that you draw in that you find most comfortable. I won't put that line there to confuse. I was gonna start drawing like the cushions, sort of like how they would flex, but I won't do that. It's already confusing enough. As I like run through and obliterate your original image. So let's say the heel is there, and then the inner curve of the foot is there. We're basically drawing like the footprint right now of the character to try to figure out uno momento. Oh, they're there. I was like, where are my other soft brushes? Okay. We're trying to figure out like where the foot is hitting. See how you're kind of like you're x-raying the foot a little bit. Also, why are these people wearing shoes in the house? How very dare they? Put some house slippers on, boyo, while you're drinking beer on my couch and assaulting my daughter. I am not even on that layer. I'm having a day today. I am having a day today. Isn't this a nice negative space, though? Let's talk about that for a minute. Look at this nice space right here. This is so far removed from the original that I'm worried it's not helpful anymore. I'm sorry. I'm like actually kind of concerned here. Second, let's look at the original. Okay, he has like more like form-fitting pants on. Maybe bring the calf up a little bit. To be fair though, this is kind of like maybe a more realistic approach for sketching. You know, you can kind of see the pain, the struggle, the sweat, blood, and tears that go into working out a drawing. So this heel would be back here. My thing for this is just be really careful with something like this to make sure no wait, the shading, the light from the television would cast shadows this way, wouldn't it? But I would make sure that like this foot really looks like it's sitting on the ground. Otherwise, it starts to like push the whole leg forward, kind of. It's hard to explain, but something like that. And then do that. How long is this video? Oh my gosh, it's almost an hour. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. This video is almost an hour. I was trying to be a speedy boy, and I was the slowest boy. I also don't think his head is in the right position. I don't know why sometimes my pen does that. It sort of like blobs up a little bit. I don't know if like this particular pen, the nub is like where, or not the nub, the nib is wearing down so much that it's causing a problem. I sort of drew the head a little overly round in the back. That's on me. I keep messing with this arm and I feel like I'm not making it any better. I keep like making his torso smaller and smaller, trying to like make this all fit in here a little better. I think if I was going to do this drawing, I would have this hand on her thigh and then this arm holding the beer, like up here or like there or something. Just so that this isn't happening. Whatever this insanity is that I'm trying to do with the hand. Because I'm like way overworking this section trying to get it all to fit, and I just think maybe a slight flip of the pose would help. I would also, now that I'm looking at like this, I would take her feet and kind of move them out here a little bit. And then like have a shadow. Just to show that her legs are kind of like away from the couch a little bit. This bro's legs, his feet have got to change. I just don't know if I can get it to where I like it. Everybody's like, no, I mean, no, quit touching it, quit working it. But yeah, I think his feet need to like come out too, like away from the couch a little bit. Something like that. That looks a little better. It's not perfect, but you know. I'm gonna leave everybody dark blue. No, this should be clear layer sound. They're all red. Let's flip it back. It's not awful. I'm talking about my drawing, not yours. It's not super bad. I think like if I had more time to faff around with it, I would feel better about it. Let's so also what I would do for the couch is I would just I mean you were already kind of doing it. I'll just pick a color. Is I would just show like the cushions bowing a little bit in areas like right here, right there. Just to like really enhance that like toony flavor that you're going for. Speaking of toony, there's a cat that hangs out around our house, and they're really nice. They're owned by somebody, and we kind of grabbed them yesterday to pet them. I shouldn't have said we grabbed them. We didn't grab them, but you know, like we were hanging out with Cat. We were having a mutually fun cat time, and the cat's name is Tuna. I feel like that's like having a kid and naming them like Hot Pocket or something. Yeah, I would just do a few lines to show some couch smooshiness, the technical term. I'm actually having more fun drawing the couch. Which should not be the way. That should not be the thing. Yeah, something like that. Is that okay? Did I do good? Yeah, I would definitely put some like little dimples and marks on the couch just to make it look kind of like little plush couch. There we go. And then so now I've discovered a new issue. So now the problem is that his head is hitting this picture frame. Just gonna get rid of some of this. Make it a little lighter and easier to see. And this can be fixed, honestly, by like just taking the frame and like truncating it a little bit, or just moving it up so it doesn't take up as much space. There are ways around it though that, you know, you just don't want to have the corner like hitting his head. You know, you don't want like weird visual tension points like that. But it's my fault because I moved him. So, you know, just an FYI if you go with that. Oh, I still don't like much care for what's going on here. She's perfect. Like her pose is really nice, but like these two bros on the side, they need to get with it. They need to get some anatomy. And I don't have a whole lot more time to work on this. Let me pick another color. So maybe something like that for his hand there. Some of this is going to be covered by clothing, so... I can only give you like general sketchy anatomy tips right now. Maybe there will someday be a part 2 of this. I'll come back to it and cry about it more. I'll just keep overworking it into oblivion. I don't think it's like super bad. I think it's like a good jumping off place. But like I want to do so much more to it. And I know that's not like possible right now. I definitely think, though, there's some truncated anatomy going on in the original, and just by, like, pulling them up more would really help. Like, just lengthening their torsos, pulling the couch out on either side would help. But yeah, I think that's, like, a good spot, especially for about an hour, you know? No, Emmy, no. No, Emmy, no. I feel like you could do more to the chest right there. I know you could do more of the whole thing. Okay. I'm officially done. I'm gonna turn it off now. I gotta stop. I'm becoming a maniac, just like working on it. All right. I will see you guys next time. There should be a link now in the description that will take you to a Discord channel where you can just drop images if you want them redlined. Obviously, they have to be within like YouTube's like policies. Like you can't send me anything like crazy important and have me redline it. But yeah, anything else I can probably do for you. So, all right, I will see you guys next time. Bye.